convinced that my dad's wife, I refuse to call her the other name, but my dad's wife either hates me or is a little delayed. So a couple years ago, this is just one incident. A couple years ago, I asked my dad if I could have like a bonfire in his backyard for my birthday. He says yes. I get to plan and everything. I told him I'll even buy the fire pit. I'll provide everything. I just need your house, whatever, because I was living in an apartment. So he says yes. I get to planning and everything. 2 weeks before, she says, or my dad texted me and he was like, oh, actually, old girl said no. And I'm just like, but you had already said yeah. Then, okay, that was one incident. Next incident, I plan to have a business launch party, okay? And I didn't ask my daddy to have it at his house because after that first incident, I was like, well, I'm not asking. I don't want to have anything at their house, period. So I told him that I would be having it at my brother's house instead. And he was like, oh, well, why didn't you just ask me? I said, I didn't know that I could. Like, I didn't think that y'all would want to have it at y'all house. He was like, oh, no, that's fine. Like, what days you thinking? So I told him either a Tuesday or a Sunday. Mind you, he works during the week. Everybody is off on Sunday. Or no, my sister was working on Sundays. So I chose Tuesday because she was usually off on Tuesdays. And I wanted her to be there. So it was going to be later in the day, like 4 o'clock or whatever. Like, he would be getting off work, like, and I would be setting up the stuff. So he says, okay, cool. I start planning everything. I send out the invitations, okay, with his address on it. And then the week before comes, and of course, old girl is texting me, hey, can you do it another day? Mind you, I had already planned on doing it on Sunday. And she didn't confirm with my dad that I had already chosen Sunday before texting me. So I'm just like, you know what? It's cool. Like, it's cool. I'll just have it at my brother's house. He already said, yeah, like, it's fine.
It sounds like it's that they never got along. That's one of the reasons why she moving the way that she moving, and because she's not communicating with both of them and or her, that is one of the reasons why the stepmother got such a problem. But that's not the entirety of it. That's not the foundation of it. The other part of it is that it's the father's fault. The father need to set the precedence and say, yo, listen, I allowed for her to do this, or this is what's happening, and you need to have a better attitude talking to his wife about his interactions with the daughter, even though the responsibility is always going to be to the wife because that's the person that he lay with every day. He need to establish that, and it actually sounds like she got a weak father that don't stand up for herself and is just talking however he talking to her, but different to the wife. Because it's no reason why it should be this level of division, and they don't even live together. It's hard enough, and this is, again, it's hard for a lot of people that deal with the next person that come into the father's life because they automatically got a bond probably to their biological mother. But then you just talking about grown folks. Imagine being a stepfather or a stepmother to a younger child. I would imagine that would probably be way worse, 10 times worse.
We chalked that up to a miscommunication thing because I had also not confirmed with my dad that I was doing it on Sunday instead of a Tuesday. I had kind of just told him like, I'm between Tuesday or Sunday. And then when I sent out the invitations, they said the Sunday date, but I don't think he got around to seeing it. So anyways, then last month comes and my dad texts me and he was like, hey, you got some mail to my house, because I had moved out of my apartment, so I changed my address to his, whatever. So I've been having mail sent to his house for a while because I stayed with him when I first moved back home. So he texted me, he sent me a picture of the mail that I had, and he was like, yeah, I got some mail, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll come get it. So it takes me probably like a week to come get it because I have work, you know what I'm saying? Like after work, I'm tired, I don't. And then I'm not staying by him anymore. So it's not that simple for me to just go get it from his house. So one day I text him the night before, and I was like, hey, I'm coming tomorrow to come pick up my mail. He says, okay, cool. I pull up, he's not there. I go in, she's there, okay? She's there. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm looking for my mail, I start looking for it. I text him, hey, where'd you put my mail? He said it should be on the counter. He was like, ask old girl, did she move it? So I asked her. She's like, oh, anything that was on the counter, I threw away. Mind you, there was coupons on the counter.
Yeah, they beefing. They beefing 100%. And she referring to her as old girl. She disrespectful because that woman is living there. The father is weak because he won't set the precedent, and they need to have a conversation. And the lady don't like you. She don't like you probably from built up resentment or whatever, and how you received her and all of this stuff. And so you grown. That's the thing in my opinion about this is that you're grown. So it's different if she got to integrate and try to make the kid comfortable. When you an adult, it's all hands on deck. And again, I think that the father need to establish boundaries and rules and, get his chick together so you talk to your girl. But then at the same time, you grown also. And she don't have to move the way that you want her to move when you coming into their house. That's just the way that it is. And if you want to attract somebody, it's better to do it with honey. It is. It's better to do it with honey than it is with vinegar. Because again, babe, she lit her. You just visiting. Regardless of how you feel about your father, that's just the way that it is.
Counter. So it's like, okay, so you threw away everything that didn't belong to you, right? So I'm like, so you threw away my mail? And she was like, yeah, anything that was on the counter, I threw it away. So I'm like, well, when did you throw it away? And she was like, yeah, it's been a few days. So my dad, I have him on the phone because I'm like, yeah, she threw it away. He like, well, it might be in the trash that I just took out, And I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. Mind you, it was mail from my bank. First of all, why would you throw away somebody's mail, period? Second, why would you throw away some mail that's from somebody's bank? Then here she go trying to be all sweet. Oh, I can go look for it if you want me to. I said, no, it's okay. Are you sure? Don't piss me off. So anyways, come to find out, I had court today. I'm thinking that it's Zoom court. Then I finally look at the paper like in detail this morning. I have to be in person. I left out just in time. I make it to the court in time. I get to the court. They're like, oh yeah, you were supposed to appear yesterday in court. I'm like, well, when did y'all send that out? Because I just moved out of my apartment. They told me the address and they told me that they sent it out halfway through last month. So not only is my mail from my bank thrown away, but you threw away mail that was from the court in my name. Why are you throwing away anybody's mail in the first place? And then you know that I be over there. Like, I come over there, every once in a while. So why do you think that I'm not coming to get my mail? And I don't even want to say that I had got over any of the situations, honestly, because I never really did. I kind of just don't talk to her as much. But now I'm like pissed off because what if they wouldn't have seen me today? You know what I'm saying? Like, that could have been my ass. I could have been going to jail if I didn't know, because I didn't know that I was supposed to appear in court yesterday. I'm thinking that it's today. However, I do partially blame the court because why would y'all just randomly change?
At the end of the day, honestly, after all of this, because I didn't heard enough, it just is what it is. Number one, you got mail being sent over to their house. You need to handle that. Two, if you want to be cool, and I always think that it's better to just be cool with people if you're gonna be having to deal with them. You might as well make it right and fix the situation and have a decent conversation. And then three, again, I think it's the father's fault for not setting the precedence and being weak and being a beta. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I'd love to know what you guys think.